I'm Bram Wiepjes, CEO of Baserow. So Baserow is an open source, no-code online database.
How do you kind of feel is, the state of the open source industry right now? What are companies kind of saying about it? Are there any kind of trends emerging?
Yeah, you really see that lots of open source alternatives to other tools emerging. Like we're also an open source alternative to Airtable, actually. So you actually see that there's definitely a market for products like that, right? So you have companies like banks, for example, universities, governments. They also want to have access to these powerful SaaS solutions like Airtable or Notion or whatever tool. And they often cannot use it because they have strict IT requirements or privacy rules, or they're working with very privacy sensitive data and they're not allowed to store it on the servers of those tools. I definitely see open source software, typically it's open core because there needs to be a business model around it. You really see it emerging nowadays to make it accessible for those who cannot use it, who cannot use a typical SaaS product.
What's the biggest challenge right now for open source software platforms such as yours?
I guess finding a business model to keep the open source community happy, to get some revenue in, of course. So it's difficult finding a right balance there because there's always, if you want to make a feature page, for example, there's always some force from the open source community, of course. So I think that's difficult. But other than that, I see way more opportunities actually for open source software because there's not just a portion of the market that you can sell to. It's actually a way bigger market you can sell to everyone because it's open source. So I definitely see more opportunities than challenges. But yeah, it's you need to find the right balance with the product that you're building.
I love the optimism. And final question for you today, Bram. What is your big tech prediction for 2023?
Well, we're operating in the no-code space, of course. So you definitely see more and more no-code tools out there. So we're definitely going to see more no-code tools, that's for sure. And I hope to see more open source no-code tools.
For more tech news, visit em360tech.com.